The purpose of our immigration system is for the benefit of American citizens, not foreigners or anybody else. Why are our Democrat colleagues so determined to flood our country with millions of illegal aliens? And I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's because they benefit from it politically.
What you're about to see is one of the most brutally honest moments in Congress I've seen in years. Congressman Brandon Gill didn't just speak. He exposed a truth that's been buried under layers of political spin. The man stood up and said what every common-sense American already knows deep down. Our immigration system exists for the benefit of American citizens, not the rest of the world. But apparently, that's now a controversial statement to the left. Before we dive into the full clip, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Trust me, you're going to want to see this one through to the end. Now let's get straight into it.
I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great in this country. So, interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists. And so the last unanimous consent that I'd asked for is this article that states that white supremacists behind over 80% of extremism-related U.S. murders in 2022.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing excites me more than the thought of President Trump initiating the largest deportation operation in American history. I'd like to remind the committee that the purpose of our immigration system is for the benefit of American citizens, not foreigners or anybody else. For the past 4 years, Democrats have facilitated the invasion of over 10 million illegal aliens into our country. Open borders grow the welfare state, they depress American wages, strain our education and healthcare system, price our working class out of owning a home, and flood our communities with violence and drugs. Mr. Beer, and as well as my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, you're intellectualizing about illegal alien crime notwithstanding. I'd like to remind you that the correct number of American citizens murdered or raped by illegal aliens is 0. Americans have learned firsthand that importing the third world will turn America into the third world. So in light of the chaos of the past 4 years, the question that has come up earlier is, why are our Democrat colleagues so determined to flood our country with millions of illegal aliens? And I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's because they benefit from it politically. Remember that every state is apportioned congressional seats based on population, not based on citizenship. Counting non-citizens in congressional apportionment has resulted in more seats for blue states and fewer congressional seats for red states. For instance, excluding non-citizens, California would have an estimated 3 fewer congressional seats. In Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, traditionally red states, would each have an estimated 1 additional seat. Right now, in a political environment where Republicans have a 2-seat majority in the House of Representatives, the presence of millions of illegal aliens in America could quite literally change the balance of power in our country.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
The ultimate goal of mass illegal immigration is mass amnesty and citizenship for illegal aliens, which of course means ultimately allowing them to vote. And that's not a conspiracy theory either. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer himself said it just 2 years ago, and I'm quoting him, "Our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million, or however many undocumented there are here." That is their words, not mine. And it appears that for the past 4 years, providing a path to citizenship for illegal aliens is precisely what the Biden administration.
Congressman Gill lays it out clearly. Democrats have spent the last 4 years turning our southern border into a revolving door. Over 10 million illegal immigrants have crossed under Biden's watch. That's not just a statistic. That's an invasion. And it's not by accident, it's by design. Gill argues that Democrats benefit politically from flooding the country with illegal aliens because congressional seats are apportioned based on total population, not citizenship. That means states with the most illegal immigrants, California, New York, get more power, more seats, and more influence in Washington. Meanwhile, red states lose ground. It's a quiet political coup disguised as compassion. Then comes Jasmine Crockett, a Democrat from Texas who tries to twist the conversation. Instead of addressing illegal immigration, she brings up mass shootings in Buffalo, Charleston, and El Paso. Horrific tragedies, no doubt, but completely irrelevant to the topic. She asks if the shooters were immigrants. The witness says no, they were U.S.-born citizens, and she jumps to claim that white supremacy, not illegal immigration, is the real issue. It was a clear deflection, a bait and switch to avoid discussing the mess her party helped create. Here's the thing. Nobody is denying that we have homegrown evil in this country. But pointing to that doesn't justify importing millions more people whose backgrounds we can't verify, whose loyalties we don't know, and whose entry breaks the law. That's not compassion. That's insanity. It's like saying because one fire started in the kitchen, you might as well light another one in the living room. Crockett's argument collapses under its own weight. Gill, to his credit, doesn't take the bait. He stays calm and drives home the real point. Illegal immigration is crushing American workers. It's overwhelming hospitals, schools, and social programs. It's pricing out working families. These aren't theoretical problems, they're daily realities for millions of citizens. And the left keeps pretending it's some kind of moral virtue to ignore them. Then Gill drops the hammer. He explains exactly why Democrats refuse to stop the flow: power. Every non-citizen counted in the census boasts representation in blue states. He cites numbers. California would lose 3 congressional seats without them, while red states like Ohio and West Virginia would gain. That's the game. That's the reason for the open borders, the reason for the endless push for amnesty. It's not about helping people. It's about building a permanent voting base. And if you think that sounds like a conspiracy, listen to their own words. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer literally said, "Our ultimate goal is to get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are." Their plan isn't hidden, it's public. They want to turn millions of illegal aliens into voters, reshaping the political map forever. And it's working. Just one example, Pennsylvania. Trump won that state by around 120,000 votes, but there are roughly 150,000 illegal immigrants living there. You grant them citizenship, you flip the state blue permanently. Multiply that by a dozen battleground states and you'll understand what's at stake. This isn't about racism, it's not about hate, and it's not about turning away people who come here legally and love this country. It's about defending the rule of law, protecting American workers, and ensuring that our elections and our democracy are not diluted by political manipulation disguised as compassion. Brandon Gill stood up for every American who's tired of being lied to. He didn't fall for the emotional theatrics. He stayed factual, clear, and fearless. And for that, he deserves credit. Because let's be honest, this fight over immigration is not just about borders. It's about the survival of our nation's identity and the integrity of our political system. If you agree that America has a right to defend its borders, that citizenship means something, and that our leaders should put Americans first, then stand up, stay loud, and stay informed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video, because the truth isn't going to spread itself.